Well, hi, and welcome to another LRCC Soundbite. You know, they sometimes say that timing is everything. Some things happen quickly, other things seem to take forever. For 3 years, Jesus and his disciples had been on the road, visiting places all around the Galilee area, as well as other towns and cities. Wherever they went, crowds would gather to hear what Jesus had to say to them. And even Jesus sent those disciples out to go and do the job themselves on their own. And it was amazing for them. They had just such an amazing time. But after Jesus died, I think the disciples got a little bit lost. They didn't quite know what to do. They'd had 3 years training with Jesus. And now, all of a sudden, even though Jesus was alive again and they'd seen him and they'd eaten with him and they'd spent time with him, they didn't really have a clue what to do next. To begin with, some of them started to head home until they realised that there was more to come. They didn't have any confidence, I think, to head out and do what Jesus had done, so they tended to fall back to what they knew. One time, 7 of Jesus' disciples had headed off together. They'd gone to the Sea of Tiberias. And while they were there, Peter, one of them, declares to the others, "I'm going fishing. Anyone coming with me?" You might remember that a lot of Jesus' disciples were fishermen before they joined Jesus. So off they went fishing. All night they spent fishing. And what do you think they caught? Absolutely nothing. You know, years ago now, I remember some friends of mine going fishing in the sea one night. They'd been really looking forward to it, spent some time together, catch some fish, just really enjoyed the time. And what did they catch all night? One piece of glowing seaweed. They were so disappointed. And I'm sure the disciples were too. In fact, it probably hurt their professional pride as well, because that did used to be their job. So, feeling bad, they were ready to head to shore when someone on the bank shouted to them. Shouted, "Try throwing your nets over the other side of the boat." What an idiot, they thought. We've spent all night at this. What difference is throwing the net out on that side of the boat going to make from this side of the boat? But they did. They threw them over. They lugged them over the other side of the boat. They threw them over. And they were probably trying to think, yeah, well, we'll just demonstrate that this is a fool's errand. This is stupid. It's not going to make any difference. But something happened. The nets started to get quite heavy. And not just a little bit heavy, but very, very heavy. So heavy the nets themselves started to break. So they couldn't even pull them back into the boat. What they had to do was try and row back to shore, dragging the net in the sea, because they just couldn't lift it out. They had caught so many fish. Now you can probably guess at this point that the person on the shore who had shouted to them was Jesus. Not only was he stood there waiting for them, probably with a bit of a wry smile on his face, but he'd got a fire going and he was ready to make a barbecue breakfast for all of them with the fish. This was another of the stories about Jesus spending time with his disciples after he had come back to life again and still doing amazing things. Interestingly, Jesus didn't try and send them off to go and spread the news, go and preach, go and spread what we now call Christianity. There was something else that really important that had to happen first that we'll hear about in a few weeks' time. So, you know, sometimes even now, God tells us to do things at a particular time. I won't bore you with it now, but if you're interested in the story of how my wife, Julie, and I and others ended up here starting LRCC, I'd love to tell you, because it's a story that goes back several years, and timing is incredible. The way God has used people and used circumstance, as well as giving us indication of when the right time is. It's a great story, but it would take far too long to tell you on a soundbite. So do get in touch if you'd like to hear it, because we love to tell people about it. God bless you. I hope you have a great week.